who are betting Joe Duffy's picks and those who are subsidizing those who are betting Joe Duffy's picks, and it's been pretty sweet in college football as well. OffshoreInsiders.com, we do have quite the big weekend. 15 college and NFL picks up for Saturday through Monday, and probably more coming. It's all at OffshoreInsiders.com. Here we go, your sharp report in college football for this week. The biggest consensus moves in terms of the percentage of bets. This is percentage of bets, and those people who believe in contrarian information, betting against the public, these would be the teams those people bet against. Maryland, Memphis, Boise State, and North Carolina. Again, these are the biggest in terms of percentage of bets, so therefore a $5 bet does count the same as a $5,000 bet, but the reason being this is relevant, those people who believe in betting against the public, they actually like to fade the smaller bettors every bit as much as the larger bettors, and usually more, quite frankly. Now, the most lopsided bets in terms of percentage and the biggest sportsbook liabilities, and the general theory here, how do you use it? If you agree with these, you probably want to bet them right away. If you disagree, you might wait closer to game time because you could get a more beneficial line. Again, that's not necessarily etched in stone, but here is who the public is betting on in terms of money so far. But then again, some people might say this will games that provide a good middle opportunity if you've already bet these particular sides. Air Force, Stanford, Memphis, Penn State, and Maryland. They're the teams that the sportsbooks need to not cover. The pros versus Joes, which I don't like that term because the number one pro is, of course, Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. But sharp versus squares. Stanford, Georgia State. Scratch that. It is Georgia State. Georgia State is a sharp versus square. And Pittsburgh. Now, the biggest line moves, and by the way, we're going to do the sweat barometer on this report. Some people call it the margin of cover. But anyway, the biggest line moves, and these go back to the preseason when some sportsbooks had their games of the year. Very good for measuring overreaction. It's a starting point. You got to take a lot of things into consideration. Why has the line moved? Penn State open up at minus 11, now minus 28.5 to Purdue. Michigan open at minus 13 to Iowa, now just 3.5. Florida open at minus 6 to Auburn, now plus 2.5. Miami open at minus 6 to Virginia Tech, now minus 14. Margin of cover, some people use it, some people call it the sweat barometer. These are the teams that so far have been the best teams to bet on this year. Spread records we're quoting, spread records. Ohio State is 4-1, covering by an average of 20.9 points per game. Penn State 3-1 again, this is against the spread, covering by 18.2 points per game. Wisconsin also 3-1, 17.5 points per game margin of cover. UL Lafayette a perfect 5-0 against the spread by an average of 14.6. And SMU 5-0, covering by an average of 14. These have been the best teams to bet against, the teams with the worst margins of cover. Virginia Tech 0-4, minus 20.5. Nevada is 2-3, but they're missing covering by an average of 17.1. Akron 0-5 by an average of 13.5. Bowling Green 1-3 by a negative 13.4 points per game. UMass 1-4, minus 11.4. Florida International 0-4, minus 11.4. Again, folks, you want free information like this every day? Of course you do. By the way, JoeDuffy.net has this. JoeDuffy.net has this report up. Set up an account at mybookie.ag. You're going to get paid whenever you want. When do you want to get paid? That's when they're going to pay you. You get a biggest sign-up bonus in the industry, up to $1,000 sign-up bonus if you use the promo code Duffy, D-U-F-F-Y. That just ensures you're going to get the biggest sign-up bonus, and it also shows your support for this killer free information. mybookie.ag, promo code D-U-F-F-Y.